Welcome to On the Couch. And on this episode, we'll be asking ourselves the question, how much of a Christian are you? And while you sit and think to yourself, how much of a Christian am I? Let's start with the word of prayer. Dear Lord, as we think to ourselves, how much of a Christian are we? Help us and guide us to find the right way to improve our Christian walk with you. This is my prayer in your holy name. Amen.
Amen.
Welcome back, Tracy.
Thank you.
Welcome to the studio. And what an interesting topic you're joining us for.
It is exciting.
How much of a Christian are you?
What a question.
Yeah, it catches you. It's a simply but yet difficult question to answer because it gives you a chance to sit back and think, how much of a Christian am I?
Yeah.
I've spoken to some people and I've asked them, how much of a Christian are you? And some people can't answer me because they have to think about it. Because what kind of question is that? How much of a Christian are you? So I'm asking you this question. How much of a Christian are you? If you have to think, me, Tracy, myself, I'm referring to you.
Right.
Or all three of you, all four of you. How much of a Christian are you? Judging yourself now.
I suppose it depends who you ask and what day you ask me, but
I'm asking you today.
today, I think I did okay today. Stumbled a few times, but
Okay.
it's every day comes with its own challenges of being a Christian. So
No, yeah, Christianity is not an easy walk. I guess if you're doing it right, but what is right? Is there a right and wrong way to be a Christian? If I think of myself, if I ask myself that question, so I was told I can't say I'm an entry level Christian again because I said that before, but I think the important thing is that we try to do our best.
yeah, you try
Every
and do-
day, you get up, you say a prayer, Lord, please protect me, gives me energy for the day. And you go about your day and you try to do your best.
It's all you can do. We're
So-
human after all. I mean,
So if you think of Christian people,
okay.
what do you think? How do you think as Christian people do you think they are? Well, let me tell you this. So I've been to the doctor.
Okay.
Well, I've seen over my lifetime, I've seen many different doctors. But I think doctors and pastors or any people in the service industry, so hospitality, if you have that as a chosen field, there's just certain people you think, wow, this person is a good doctor, according to how they act and how they carry themselves. And others you feel like, why are you a doctor? You're not even a nice person. You know what I'm saying?
I think
they
the
just
same thing.
they come across
I think
like
it's the same as Christians as well.
yeah.
You know, it just depends on who you're dealing with. But
Yeah.
there's a lot of pressure on Christians to be a certain way. At the end of the day, we're still human.
Yeah. Like me personally, like I see people all the time, I'm like, the same thing I think of doctors and pastors and service people, like in the service industry, hotels and whatever. I was like, why are you doing this? Why are you a doctor? Or why are you a Christian? Look how you acting. You don't like make me feel warm and fuzzy inside.
Someone actually said that to me in the week.
You don't make me feel warm and fuzzy inside.
No, they said they don't like going to church because it's just there's a bunch of hypocrites. That was the response.
Yeah.
But that's the whole reason you go to church.
Yeah, that was going to be my opening line to get people's attention. Be
Was
like,
it?
I don't like Christians. They're a bunch of judgmental, hypocritical,
It's a bit
just
harsh.
nasty people. That was going to be my opening line to get people's attention. And me personally, I think there's some truth to that.
So let me ask you this. What is it that makes a good Christian?
It's an interesting question.
What sort of attributes would you?
I would think it would be if we go back and we look at the fruits of the Spirit.
Okay, which are for people who don't know.
So some of the fruits of the Spirit, for those of you who don't know, is I wrote it down. So we have love, we have joy, we have peace, we have patience, kindness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. So I don't think we've met a person that has all this, like, perfectly balanced and, has it down. But I would think a Christian would be somebody
Just a few
who's
of those.
trying to, love according to the fruits of the Spirit.
Well, also, I had a conversation with someone and they were saying, oh, you're only a Christian on a specific day, whether that be whatever your worship day is. Saturday,
Yeah.
well, for us, Adventists, but Sunday as well.
Yeah.
What would you say for people that are only Christians when they go to church?
I thought about that in terms of Christianity as a whole. There's so much different denominations within Christianity, if I'm using the correct word. Christians, people who call themselves Christians, and they have different churches, they have their different names, and yet they all fall under the banner of Christians. So partly I think they're doing what they know. Yeah.
I don't think there's anything wrong with it as a start. Everyone needs to start somewhere.
Yes.
Like,
But
what
you
is the
do what you
alternative?
believe is right or true to you with information you have. Don't you think so?
Definitely.
But a little fact or stat I found just to find out. So, how much people are there in the world, would you say, roughly? Just a guess. I can tell
couldn't even
you.
guess.
I can tell you it's in the billions. It's in the billions. So it's less than 10, but more than 5.
That's a broad... Okay, let's say 50. Let's say
50.
Yes.
Less than 10, more than 5. It's a single digit.
Okay. 7. 7.
You're close, yeah. So it's 7 point something, but let's go with 8 billion.
Okay.
And how much Christians do you think there are in the world?
Is it in the thousands?
No, it's also in the billions.
Say 2 billion.
Okay, well done. So we have 2.38 billion Christians in the world.
That's a lot.
Yeah. And all of them, I feel like, some way have their own, within Christianity, their own religion.
I was going to ask you, what type of Christians are they, though?
There's a lot. I don't have the list in front of me, but there's a lot. There's quite a few. That's something we can actually find out. But for our listeners and viewers, if you do know, you can just comment below and put the number there, letting us know how much different, I think it's denominations, are there in terms of Christianity. So yeah, I like facts like that. So I thought that was quite interesting.
When you asked me the
Yes.
question last week, how much of a Christian are you?
Yeah.
I looked it up here, and if I can just share this from Romans 12 verse 1. This is the New King James Version.
Okay.
I beseech you, therefore, brethren, by the mercies of God, that you present your bodies a living sacrifice, holy, acceptable to God, which is your reasonable service.
That's interesting because I saw something in the week, or somebody sent me something in the week,
What?
which is a post somebody put there of something like hot girl summer is over, getting ready for Christian girl autumn or something like that.
What?
So this verse shows us that. What does it show us? We were discussing this in the before, so
Yeah, because a lot of people also feel like it's my life, it's my body, I can do with what I want, but I'm still a Christian.
yeah.
But the Bible is actually saying your body needs to be a sacrifice. You need
Yeah.
Walk the walk.
And that is your service.
That is your service.
Yeah. So, funny you mentioned walk the walk. I think being a Christian, partly being a Christian, or a big part of being a Christian is being a follower of Christ. So that's the definition. And being a follower and walking with God. And as a Christian, we need to walk in faith, I believe, in faith, and the Bible backs this. Because if you look at 2 Corinthians 5, verse 7, it says, For we walk by faith and not by sight. So this made my mind think, because like I always have these stories that I picture of scenarios. So I would think of a scenario of a parent and a child. So the child doesn't know if the parent and the child going for a walk. The child wouldn't know what's happening around the next corner, or whatever dangers are along the path that they're walking. But because the child is with the parent, the child has faith in this parent that they would protect them, and the child has nothing to worry about. This is not even something that the child is thinking in their mind. They just automatically safe, and they don't worry because I'm walking with my parent. And the same thing I feel with when we are Christians and in our Christian walk, there's nothing for us to worry about. When we walk in faith with God, He takes care of all of that. Because we're walking with Him, and He'll protect us.
Speaking about children, I have a little person.
Okay.
And if you had to spend time with her and not know me,
Yeah.
you would sort of get an inclination of the type of person I am, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because of the way I raised her. So her manners, her please and thank you, the things that she says and does. As a Christian, you should sort of be the same way. You should reflect Christ in the way you act.
Yes. So through you, people should see Christ.
Right.
Yeah, and see what Christ is all about without you even speaking about the Bible, quoting them Bible verses, or telling them how they should live. Your life should be a reflection of Christ.
No one wants to hear what they're doing wrong.
Yeah.
You know, they just
Yeah.
want to look at you and say, oh, I want that.
Yeah. Funny you mentioned that, because it's like a reflection. Because I was at work the other day, and one of my colleagues, the older lady, she walks up to me and she tells me, your parents are very nice people. And
Does
I
she know your
know
parents?
she doesn't know my parents, because I just met her at work, and she didn't recognize the surname. She doesn't know anything. We met for the first time, and she doesn't know any of my family. And she just comes up to me like randomly one day, just walks up to me and says, your parents are very nice people. So I was like smiling, and I'm like surprised, taken aback, like, how do you know my parents? And like, why didn't you tell me you know my parents? That was my like reaction. But she was like, no, I can see through you how your parents are and who your parents are, because how well mannered you are and the way you carry yourself. And I was like, wow.
Wow. Exactly.
Yeah.
Nail
So
on the head.
just like that, as she could see my parents through me, so as Christians, people should see God through how we live our lives. Yeah. So coming back to walking in truth
In faith.
and in faith and in spirit, there's a Bible verse, Colossians 5, verse 16. So it says, I say then, walk in the spirit, and you shall not fulfill the lust of the flesh.
Where is that found?
Galatians 5,
verse
16. So, as a Christian, we are tempted all the time. Because, of course, the devil wants to expand his army and takes as much people with him as possible. So, yeah, we have temptations all the time as Christians, I would think. And yeah, the temptations look so
Tempting.
appetizing and tempting, and looks like, yo, this is amazing. And like, but this verse tells us and shows us that when we walk in spirit with God, we will not fulfill or fall for these temptations.
And that's also why we were speaking earlier. Being a part-time Christian is so
Yeah.
dangerous because
Yes.
the devil never takes a break. He's
Yeah.
24/7. So we can't afford to be a 1 day a week or part-time Christian.
And I think that's where, possibly where my perception or people's perceptions, where people told me, oh, Christians are horrible people, according to the people that he or she interacted with, or the Christians. So a few weeks ago, or a month, could be a month by now ago, Pastor Ashwood, for his district, had a youth gathering. I assisted him with certain things at this youth gathering, and we did a couple of icebreakers. So just to get some information from the youth that attended as to like how they're feeling and things like that. So one of the questions that we asked them was, I feel more comfortable, or I interact socially more with people, better people outside the church than inside.
Wow.
And then we had them stand up. And people agreed with that statement, that they interact, they feel less judged, they feel more comfortable interacting with people outside than inside.
I can
In
understand
terms of
that,
the
but it's
church
still
and
a little sad,
Christianity.
though.
It is. And I can understand why. So, for example, a week ago on a Wednesday night, I went to the racetrack. I got a phone call the Wednesday morning. Hey, it's something happening at the racetrack. You want to go? Let's go. And then so I'm like, yes, okay, no problem. We end up going, and so it's going to be a lot of like-minded people. And I just started a conversation with this guy. So I saw him on YouTube. So his son, it's a father and son, and they have a YouTube channel documenting the journey that they're taking, building the cars and racing them. And I see him, I never spoke to him before, and we just started a fair conversation. It was like, I can't even tell you how easy it was. It just happened. Like, we were talking like we knew each other for years. And I was like, yo, this is great. This is great.
All because you had a common interest.
Common interest. And I feel as Christians, we should that's how we should be able to communicate and talk with each other. Because like when I was speaking to him, it's like we were getting excited. I could see the smile on his face, and you're like, yo, and that is at the start of the evening. So he was like ready to go on the track. It was like, oh, I even got excited. Look at me. I'm getting excited now just thinking back. Yeah. So that's how I feel like as Christians, we should get that excitement within us when you see each
But
other
that's why it's so
genuinely
important.
happy to see you.
It's important to have Christian friends as well,
Yeah.
because that will also grow you as a person and also gear you towards that direction and not.
Yeah. See, so that guy I met at the racetrack at Killarney International Raceway. I feel like he would be the perfect Christian. Like I said, some people you could just see they're the perfect doctor or the perfect pastor.
What makes you say that?
No, because you're so warm and so friendly. I don't know if it would be the same if I met him anywhere else, but over there I feel like he would be the perfect Christian, because that's like what us as Christians should be: welcoming, friendly, like genuinely taking interest in somebody that you don't even know. It's just some random guy that you're standing in a queue, you know? Crazy. That's what I feel. Christianity should be like that.
As inviting, as
Yes,
open.
no matter what, say church you belong to, we're all Christians, so we should be able to be like, hey, how you doing? And have that friendliness, that, can I say, Christ-like. It's almost like it's attraction.
So
you know,
what's stopping us from doing that?
I try. I try. I try to be that Christian. I'm friendly. Whenever you see me anywhere, I'm generally friendly. I have a smile on my face. I greet everybody. Sometimes people don't greet me back, but that's fine. Maybe they're just having a bad day. But yeah, that is how I would like to be received, right? That warm and friendliness. And that's why I'm warm and friendly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So people can feed off me. That's what I'm trying to do.
I'm just thinking of the whole fruits of the Spirit and being a good Christian. Sometimes that road rage has you. Then, like, your Christianity goes out the window.
On my way to the studio, standing in a queue of cars, turning off the freeway. So another arrow goes on. So that means we must go. But we can't go because cars from the other side are blocking and turning. So what happens? This guy, and his trailer full of trees. Sure. Anyway, so they hoot and he decides, no, he's also going to go. And this lady in front hoots. And this guy looks at this lady and he blows her a kiss and he drives off. I was like, isn't that enough to make your blood boil? I was so tempted to turn around and chase him.
Self-control.
But you see, I was trying very hard not to, but also I needed to be at the studio for this, otherwise I was going to be late. But those are the things that tempt us as Christians to lose our cool. But that's where the fruits of the Spirit comes in. That's where that self-control and that patience, which I know some of us struggle with.
Also, I feel like, speaking from experience,
Yeah.
holding grudges, unforgiveness, it holds you back so much.
Yeah.
You need to learn to let that go.
No.
Easier said than done. I know we had a whole conversation about that. But
Yeah. So we did a show on forgiveness. It's a couple of episodes back. So if you missed that one, you can go back to that and watch that. And then after this one, you can watch that. And then, yeah. So you can see what we're talking about forgiveness and the steps and the process through forgiveness to forgive.
And also thinking about being a good Christian. Words just escape me now. A lot of the time when we do things in the dark,
Yes.
we think no one knows about it but us.
Yeah.
But in actual fact, there's nothing that we can do on this earth that isn't known already by God.
Yeah. So you say we're doing something forgetting that God sees and knows all. Yeah.
Like Eve, why did Eve hide in the garden?
Yeah.
So whatever's done in the dark will always come to light.
Yeah. And then talk about fruits of the Spirit and even the garden taking the wrong fruit. I heard something interesting the other day. So a gentleman mentioned this. A gentleman told, it was me and my father, told us this. And he says, within us, we all have seeds. Like seeds you plant and it grows. So if we take seeds as fruits of the Spirit, so the love, the joy, the peace, the kindness, but then on the other hand, we also have the jealousy, the unforgiving spirit, the hatred. All of those things are all seeds within us. And which one do we water the most? Which one do we give the most attention to? Because as in a garden, the one you give the most attention to flourishes and grows. And the same with us. Which one do we give most attention to? Is it the hatred, the jealousy? Do we give that the most attention? Or do we give it to the love and the patience and the kindness? And as Christians going into this week, let us think of which seeds in our garden of our life do we water the most? And just like that, we've come to the end of our show. Thank you so much for tuning in. Goodbye and God bless.
Hi guys, thanks for watching this week's episode. Don't forget to like and subscribe.